Hello, we are Cinemartyr. I am Shane.
I'm Aaron.
And welcome to Digital Tour Bus. This is our vehicle, Vansis the Mute, or what other names do we have for it?
Clarice, I think, is one.
Clarice, V for Vendetta. I bet like a million bands have said that already on here, but she has got this little trucker has gotten us through the States nearly like 10,000 miles now, over 30 days. 4 of us in this thing, and we haven't killed each other yet, so
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Here we go. So, as you can see, like top of the line, big budget touring right here. We got some knee space, all important knee space. You want to keep the knees good for being on stage. We have about 6 or 7 of these. No one owns one in particular, and we make use of those. This Bekosen one is the hot property, I believe. This is what, this will keep your head up pretty straight. But more important than that is not the first aid kit, but the hot sauce supply that we got from Taco Bell. So this is probably the most important part of the car, important compartment, I would say. So I'm the one person in the band who can't drive. So these 3 have been taking turns driving huge distances. We did a 3-day drive from Seattle to Nebraska. That was pretty intense, and Aaron has more experience up here than I do.
I think this has been pretty important, our media center here, you know, got the Bluetooth speaker,
right?
phone holder. Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of some of the bands we played with. Circuit Monsters one. Listening to a lot of Dominique Fike today. And hanging out here with our spirit animals. They're just keeping us safe.
Yep, we got a possum, we got the slug. They don't let me put on that much music, because I would just choose John Mayer over and over again. So thankfully they can avoid that pain. But we stick to music more than anything else, I guess. And usually it's the driver who chooses, right?
Yeah.
Got to keep that rule going so everyone feels sane. We keep volume at a relatively decent level so people can sleep and stuff like that. And if everyone's feeling down, we got to turn off the sad music. If everyone's feeling too happy, we got to bring it down with some sad music. We got this possum from the Possum Store in New Orleans. It's a store that's dedicated entirely to possum-related things. You can adopt a possum. You can get some possum t-shirts. So that was one of the highlights of New Orleans for sure.
The banana slug is from one of those drive-through trees. It's like tourist traps.
Oh, yeah. Like the redwood?
Redwood.
Yeah, so we visited the redwood forest, and we got a hanger-on for the vehicle. We have, what else up here up front? We have been we have a little thing, it's not here right now, but we've been filming our faces and the road as we've been going. We're filming a documentary. We did a Kickstarter to get some gas money so we could offset some of the costs for this tour. And part of that is we're going to film a documentary, and we're going to put it out to the Kickstarter people who gave some money. We're going to give it to them first. So we've been trying to film ourselves from all different angles. We have GoPros, and we have that camera that's usually up here, and our phones are capturing everything we can, as much embarrassing and cool stuff as possible, and we'll sort out the ratio in the edit, I'm sure. We were just across the street here a while ago. Our drummer was getting some piercings, so that'll make it into the documentary, I'm sure. So that's pretty much it for the front. We've got a surprise for you in the back. There are some other members in this band, and we're going to go back there now. Magic. Who are these guys?
Hey, how's it going? I'm David.
I'm Amber.
This is the back seat of our tour van. You can see we got the pilot setups here, the backseat drapes holding all of our essentials. You know, we got the snacks, we got the wet wipes,
We got the Brita water filter.
we got the power
ice.
bricks. Got a little tablet holder here for entertainment.
We have a weapon in case we need for self-defense. I removed they were these handles that stuck out, so I removed those and put these organizers on there. I am in Shane's seat right now, so Shane is usually here because he doesn't drive at all. And the 3 of us rotate between these 3 seats here. But generally speaking, if one of us are driving, we are both up front, and Aaron's in the back here with Shane.
But this seat is good for playing video games here. You put your Nintendo Switch in there.
Yeah.
Play some Legend of Zelda. So.
Watching some movies from here as well.
That seat where Amber is sitting right now is kind of the office, I guess. I'm 35. I still haven't learned how to drive because I grew up in Ireland. You don't really need to drive there. Then I moved to New York. You don't really need to drive there. So I got my permit just before tour. I've been booking the tour since November, and now I've got like a little organizer over there. I can go through my emails when we actually have some goddamn reception. And yeah, so sometimes I'm sitting back there just having an existential crisis, or I'm looking forward to the next show, or I'm really hungry and thinking about like how good is the next rest stop going to be, you know, will there be more than 2 toilets that have doors on them, that kind of thing. So I'm really glad that the guys have allowed me to have this little nook back here. It's like mental health wise it has been really good, and I treasure it a lot. Also though, on top of that, there's that door over there doesn't close from the inside. So every time I get in, I have to run around the car, close it, and then come around here and like hop over whoever's here and then get in.
We should demonstrate how the door works, how to shut it, because it's kind of funny.
So we pull up to a rest stop. I gotta get out, stretch my legs, and get some food. There's a very particular way to close this door. You gotta apply pressure with the backhand. I can get it on 1 now. It used to take about 10. I go in and I do my thing in the store. I come back out, and if I want to get into the vehicle, I can't use that door anymore. I gotta be like, Dave, I know I say this 50 times a day.
All right, come on.
Can I pass through?
Let's go.
And then I got back pain from the gig the night before, and I get all scrunched up, try and step over 50 things, and then get into my seat, and I'm pretty comfy. But if Amber has opened it like that, I gotta ask her to close it again, or else I have to go out and do the whole thing again. So yeah, that's the rigmarole of finding a comfortable seat in this thing.
Me and Amber are mostly the Tetris people here. We got a lot of stuff in the back here. As you can tell, we're kind of full to the brim, but we can still see out the back window. This van originally had a back seat in it, which we pulled out. We actually had to buy a special tool to do all that. But that gave us a lot of extra space, so you can see down here. Up in there we got like the drum hardware and all that stuff. So the basic organization of it is we have all the stuff that we don't need often, like at the bottom closest to the seats. And then we kind of put our personal bags there. And then the drums kind of like go here in the front. We got the amp down there, and then the guitars and the smaller drums and the merch all will go on top, because those are kind of the most accessible. We have to pull those out the most. As far as like cuts, we actually like didn't really have to make very many. Like I think we all packed pretty light. We all brought just like small personal bags, and you know, I made some mods to the drum set. I kind of like took the front head off, and I can put the floor tom in there, so that saves a lot of space. But it's always kind of a little bit of a dance at the end of the night, coming out of a show and being like, all right, we gotta wait for the hardware to go in first, and then so on and so forth. But yeah, I mean, like, I was kind of surprised at how much room we had left over after we got everything into the van the first time. I was a little worried about that, but it all worked out fine, I think.
Yeah, another thing I would just say before I forget it, well, one thing is we brought this little amp. It's about this size, and that's been like the touring amp. Most bands would bring much bigger stuff, I think, but we've tried to peel it back as much as we could, and it seems to be filling rooms pretty nicely. The other thing I would say, and this is maybe a little bit out of time or out of context with what we're just talking about, but we purchased this vehicle and we're touring in it, and then we're going to sell it again. So it's like a odd way of like renting a car, I guess. We just purchased this, and it's going to go to a new home after we get back, assuming we get back.
Really down to the wire. We like finalized the purchase like 2 weeks before tour.
Yeah, Amber was like scouting so many vehicles.
This operation.
Yeah, you.
Yes. So it's,
yeah.
Oh, my name's on it, and I don't know. I'm actually considering keeping the van because it has been such a good little workhorse. It's got a very high reliability, dependability ratings. It's older, but you know, like the guts are still good. So we just have like some issues, and I'm sure you probably talked about the bugginess of like the security system. So right now we're working with no horn, which is not the safest way to drive, but it's either that or be constantly harassed by this thing randomly by the security system going off and the horn honking and not knowing how to disengage that. So we've chosen no horn. But I digress. Yeah, so we're gonna sell it. I have a buyer who's probably gonna take it, and then that would be the most ideal situation because he would definitely let us borrow the car in the future for any other future tours, which is a potential for next summer.
All right, from a freshly pierced Dave, Aaron, Amber, they're not freshly pierced. You're freshly pierced? You're freshly pierced?
Yeah.
Dave's freshly pierced.
We
on
got
this
the
side.
matching triangles.
Yeah, we are Cinemartyr. Thanks for watching our Bus Invaders, and you can catch us. Best place is probably just our music videos on YouTube. Subscribe there, please. And then cine.martyr on Instagram, @cine.martyr. That would be great.